Well, it's good to see you again, and like I said, I love you. I just think you're brilliant, and congratulations again. You won last year, and then you came back with some friends of yours from the community.
Yes. So first and foremost, thank you for having me again. Super great to be here with people. Love seeing you all. So I brought 4 youth poets from my city with an organization called With Our Words. Tom of Brisbane, shout out to you for running that whole thing. And had to go do an ode for my town.
Yeah, that's great. And not only that, you're using some of your prize money to give back to your community.
Yeah, I mean, we're going into different schools. Spire School District, we're going to I think 25 different schools to put on workshops and assemblies to help with reading and writing with students. And then one of my largest pursuits is to go back to my old neighborhood and start up a grocery store and gym called Neighborhood Grocery.
Well, good for you. That's fantastic. Okay, and you're writing a book called Unraveling, is that what it's called?
Yes, so the book is called Unraveling. It's a wonderful little collection of poems that I have. All of them were stuff that I wrote that sucked in the beginning. And then as time went on, refined and got them a little bit better. It was a lot of fun.
How old were you when you started writing?
I think the first poem I wrote, I was like 10 or 11, and this girl in my middle school class was really cute, so I wrote her a poem.
Uh-huh. If she still had that, that would be pretty special.
Yeah, it didn't ever end up going to her.
I see.
Another girl in my class got that poem by accident. So.
That's hilarious. And did she like it?
We ended up dating for a few months.
Oh, wow.
So
maybe it was the better person to get it.
Yeah, fate, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Timothy's fault for not giving it to the right person.
Yeah. Well, Timothy did the right thing, obviously. So, when you write, do you have an idea first about what you want to write about, or is it stream of consciousness, and then it goes into that? Or, obviously, the last time was Breonna Taylor, and today is specific. But do you have sometimes just free association?
Yeah, I would say the process is always different. Like sometimes I just get a random line that I get inspired by, and I'm like, oh, I want to write that. And I have no idea what the theme or topic will be. It just kind of becomes whatever it is. Sometimes I walk into a poem saying, I know exactly what I want to talk about. Let's just figure out how to get from A to Z. Probably the only consistent thing is something I mentioned before, is they all suck in the beginning. And I think that that's a really encouraging thing for a lot of people, because I think a lot of folks think you have to be great at something to start in order to keep going.
Yep.
When in all actuality is you just have to start.
Yeah.
And then keep pushing.
Yeah, well, that is encouraging, because a lot of people, and I think writing is just so therapeutic. I think just writing out your feelings, whether you're going to be a writer or not, is really healthy.
Oh, yeah. I've saved myself so many R&B slow jam nights of heartbreak with these poems, and just being able to write out my thoughts and feelings on the paper.
Yeah.
It's given me a home that I never thought I'd have.
Yeah, well, and I'm so glad that you did that. So today, like I said, last time it was Breonna Taylor. Tell everybody what you're speaking about today.
Yeah, so I'm a former teacher, and with, during COVID, we had a really great opportunity to see what education was like without school shootings. And since, COVID is still most certainly a thing, but since students are back in schools, we've seen an uptick in that regard. So I'm just going to share the perspective of somebody who was in the classroom having to go through those types of trainings.
Yeah, all right. It's true. I didn't even think about that, because we didn't have kids going to school. There were no school shootings. It's crazy to think about that. All right, Brandon's going to perform after this. All right, here to perform his poem, The Secret Life of Teachers, please welcome Brandon Leake.
Growing up, my mama told me nothing stops a bullet like an education. But what happens when bullets get on the bus with you? What happens when they race through the hallways wanting to spread your knowledge across the classroom? Question, when did schools turn from windows of opportunity to being bulletproof? We talk about creating safe spaces at schools, and being a teacher, I can tell you the only safe space I see is under the desk of my classroom. Campuses are poor replacements for war zones, for there is always a casualty of hope that there is a place where raised arms aren't so fatal. So to my government, I ask, what shall you do? Shall we continue this maddening cycle where access to guns is more readily available than access to health care, where in some states, children who aren't even allowed to drive or vote can tote steel like a fashion statement? I'm just saying insanity is repeatedly doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And this stretch of school shootings has confirmed our diagnosis now to our schools. It is our duty to create an environment and culture where ostracism isn't so common. These campuses need be places to grow, but how can one do so when they're continually masked in a shadow of fear? We should let our bodies be better lovers than fighters. So today, I choose to speak out against a system that is broken, listening to the NRA song on replay to null out the sounds of children who are slain on their watch, and speak up for the students who I see on the fringe of our broken schools, to let them know that they are not alone, for we are all broken people, trying to find a place where our splintered edges fit best. And every morning I fall on my knees and I pray to God, asking Jesus that my students and I survive today and that we don't end up on the 6 o'clock news or the next Instagram live stream, that my wife's goodbye to me this morning not be so permanent. So dear government, people, humanity, I promise I will make my classroom a place where all students find love and acceptance more readily available than they do condemnation, a place where lead only scrapes across paper. The question to you all is now, what will you do?
Debut poetry collection, Unraveling, comes out in March. Everyone in the audience is going to get a copy. I want to thank my guests.
You get a copy. Everybody.
I want to thank all of you for watching. Thanks for being a part of my final season. I feel the love in this room. I give you back the love. Take it and spread it around the world, everybody. Bye.